Hello everyone, welcome to the video this week. I am going to use this piece of wood. It is a burl. I have no clue what kind it is. I've already cut on it some. I've already used it for another project, and I'll link that video at the end of this video so you can kind of see what I did with it before. Okay, I finally got my pieces cut down that I'm going to use in my mold. And I've kind of temporarily put them in there. Hopefully I can remember which way they need to go in. I did mark them. For my next step, I'm going to very, very lightly spray with just some spray adhesive glue. Just the sides that I'm going to want to put the mica powder on. But it's going to be the lightest of mists. I don't want to put it on too heavy because I'm just not real sure if it'll play nice with the epoxy. For this next part, I am going to be using the Let's Resin Chameleon powder, intense powders, and some mica powders out of the Let's Resin 60 color set mica powders. I think it's cayenne. And sea green. And an interference mica powder green, and then out of the chameleon powder I'm going to use the dark green. Okay, the epoxy I'm going to use today is the deep pour Let's Resin deep pour epoxy. This is the Let's Resin turquoise alcohol ink. I'm going to use that just to slightly color it. Now I do want to say that this epoxy is not meant to pour this deep, so I am pushing the limits with it. It's the maximum pour I believe is like 4 inches. So as you can see, way over pushing it. I am going to take frozen water bottles and stick them on each side of this container to help control, hopefully, the heat. Hopefully I won't get any thermal cracks in this. If I do, not a big deal. I will see what I'm going to do to address that if that happens. But hopefully the ice water bottles will take care of that situation. Well, I'm going to put this in the pressure pot, and if I need to put another layer on this, I may go with a solid, more opaque green or something if I lose too much and have to put a layer on it. Ooh, let's see if you guys can see that. Okay, I've got this one mounted between centers. If I didn't show this, I had to do a second pour. The wood absorbed too much epoxy, and that's just what I was worried about happening. Was pretty sure it was going to happen anyway. So I went with a solid copper, which is a little bit of a risk because then I could have, I'm going to have a wetness line. So it, just might look a little odd. But I did like the colors of the that I put on it, on the wood, and it reminded me of the patina of copper whenever it gets that patina on it. So that's the reason I went with the copper on the top. So anyway, it's going to be some rough going for a little bit to get it round, get these edges knocked off. So let me get into it, and yeah, let me get geared up and we'll get to spinning. Okay, it's going to take me a hot minute to get this turned around. I will leave the cameras rolling, but I will probably bring you back whenever I've got this round, because it's just going to take a little bit to get this chewed away to see what we're going to have when we get there. So unless something crazy happens, I will bring you back whenever I've got everything cut back and rounded. have a little problem. That right there is hot glue. And so I have to figure out what I want to do with that. How epoxy got between it and I am going to drop some of this sparkly copper. Just that's the metallic alcohol ink. Just going to drop a little bit of this on the wood and see what happens. I think this is the one I used. Let that kind of soak down in there, see if it'll leave some of that copper look to it on there. Well, get up out of there. Just let it, looks like it's sizzling. Probably gonna have to let that set for a few minutes to let that all that alcohol kind of dissolve out of it, or evaporate out of it, I mean. Okay, so you guys know kind of what I'm doing here. I took a little bit of the green, the UV Let's Resin green, and the blue, and I've kind of mixed it together. I can tell you, I'm sure I won't even get close to the color, but at least it won't be just a straight green or a straight blue. Yeah, just a little more green and see where I'm at. Ooh, that's how you're going to be. I'm going to cause that to float up in there. Now, hopefully, pull that out a little bit because I want to make sure that it wants to cure. Get this set up on here. Okay. I'll bring you guys back in about 5 minutes or so. Okay, before I go any further, I am going to put some of my water-based sanding sealer down in these punky spots. That way because I just can't get a good cut, and I'm getting tear out. And then I've got, of course, that chip out there to fix. I think I've got a few little spots down here, a spot here. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that, let it dry, probably put several coats. Okay, so you guys can see I've got it off the lathe. Still have it on the chuck, of course, but I'm not happy with the shape of it. I took it off to see if it looked better in the upright position, and I think my biggest problem is the copper rim. Let me get it back on the lathe so you guys can maybe see better what I'm talking about. I think I'm just not happy with it, and I don't think if I proceed on, I'm not going to be happy with it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and cut a groove in here and see what it looks like. May not part it all the way off yet, just bring it in drastically and see what I think of it. So yeah, I thought about it overnight and thought about it most of the day today, and finally I was like, I got to do something. So yep, let's try that and see. Hopefully I don't make a mistake. You guys are gonna have to let me know whether I should have left it or taken it off. Anyway, let's get geared up and get spinning on it. gonna go on with some sanding sealer, and I'm gonna try just to stick to the wood. Therefore, that's the reason I have just a cotton ball. Or Q-tip. Oh no, this is gonna still put too much on there. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Let's do some sanding paste. We'll start out with the original and go to the microfine. And we're going to coat the inside of this with the Fast Cure epoxy. Well, that was a journey. I didn't think I was ever going to make up my mind on the shape of this one. I had envisioned something else in my mind, and I can't even explain what it is now, but I think the copper part threw me off with having to add that. I should have probably went with a green, like I had mentioned whenever I was actually mixing the epoxy the first time. Probably just a darker green or something would have been a little more complimentary. But I think it turned out pretty good. Let's have a look in or over. The thing is down here you're not going to see things very good because of the lighting and the glare. Let me see if I bring it up close, if you can see. You can still see some of that green. through the wood. What I had noticed is that whenever I used the mica powder, whatever that I had left that was just kind of setting there on the pieces of wood, and I poured the epoxy, well, that kind of floated up in the epoxy, so it gave it kind of a sparkly look. And like I said, I don't know if you guys can see that. The other thing that you can see is the tiniest little micro bubbles. It's a toss between what is the shimmer from the epoxy and the mica dust powder that was in there, and the epoxy coating on the inside. Yeah, I think it still looks pretty spectacular. The other thing is, it was just this is a little thicker than I had hoped it would be. But I also wanted to leave enough depth to be able to see the wood that I had colored on the inside. Still don't know what kind of burl this is. Like I said, it was in really bad shape. So, you had some light parts and some dark parts and everything, but the grain is beautiful on it. You just can't beat the patterns in the grain. What do you guys think about this video? Like I said, it took me forever to make up my mind on what shape that I wanted to put it in. Don't forget to leave a comment if you think I should have left it at the multiple other shapes that I had it in. Put a time code down there and tell me which shape you preferred, or if you like this one. So also, if you leave a comment, you'll be you'll have a chance at my next giveaway. That's a little further down the road, but yeah, leave a comment and you might win one of my pieces. All the epoxies I used on this project was from Let's Resin, the alcohol inks and everything. If you're interested in any of those products, go on down to my descriptions. Go on down to my descriptions, and I have links down there to all these products, and you can use Vicky 10. When you go to purchase, you can use that Vicky 10 to get a discount of 10%. I want to tell you guys thank you for stopping by and watching my video. It means the world to me. I want to say a special thank you to my subscribers, and if you haven't subscribed, jump on down there and subscribe. It's free. Give me that thumbs up if you like the video, and share it with your friends and family or anybody that you think would like the video. I'm going to put her in the picture box, and I want you guys to have a great day, and we'll see you on the flip side.